Hello, hi, I'm ALL the Cryptic Hybrid, and this is Electric Sleep. Now, Electric Sleep is a pixel art visual novel in which you get to play an emotionally driven robot and you get to explore a very different Earth. Now, the game is going to be available on February 22nd, and it's going to be available for Windows, macOS, and Linux. Alright, let's start. Okay. Module scan. Fear restored, anger missing, joy missing, sadness active. Okay, so... Okay. Module sadness. It feels like a part of you is splintering. You flinch as if a great weight has been lowered onto your shoulders. It forces you into alertness and a painful awareness of your surroundings. There's a glass-fronted pod that surrounds you. A dull, dimly lit room on the other side. The pod door opens as if underlying the need for you to wake up. But you struggle with a contrasting feeling of dreadful inertia. What is out there that you have not seen before? Nothing lifts you, nothing speaks to you. Nothing. Nothing speaks to me, but, you know, that doesn't mean we can't explore. And of course your choices matter. Your choices are gonna take you on different paths that lead to 44 different endings. Nothing speaks to you. And yet, much as you try, there is no returning to sleep. The insistent blinking of a computer terminal seems determined to prevent that. After a few reluctant steps, you confront the text on its screen. We are sorry. Yes. A relief. This created in the end. Obviously there's some words missing. A relief in the end. This seems to be a comfort both tantalizing and frustratingly out of reach. What direction does that provide? What processing is that meant to encourage? You cannot find any meaning in the cold apparatus that fills this room. You only wish to find some purpose, but standing in this bare room, all you feel is emptiness. Perhaps you need to harness that numbing inertia as leverage and wander into oblivion. There may be some relief in that. You grasp a rung of a ladder at the far end of the room and begin to pull yourself up. Yes, this could work. Yes, yeah, we're leaving that room. Good. You groan at the height of the hatch at the top of the ladder, pushing it gradually over your head. On the other side is a wide clearing framed by barren-looking trees. In front of you are clumps of rotting wood and burnt metal that outline what was a structure of some sort. It is stark in its decay. Let's see, if you were not so alone. Through the trees you can see a building. A river flows powerfully beyond the trees. Let's check the river. Yeah, let's see the river. A river flows powerfully beyond the trees. It is a force greater than yours. Might it hold the key to return to nothingness, a final relief? Making your way between bare trunks and through piles of mulched leaves, you head to its bank. Okay. Like commit suicide by, electrocution, just by going in the river. A river unravels in front of you, relentless and twisting. Its water is high against its banks, where sections of soils are gradually disintegrating into its depths. It slices back and forth, tearing space out of the forest, and isolating a few crumbling towers, small and now clearly abandoned. How quickly things are forgotten. It's as though there is power in this river, or we can go for you search desperately along the river's edge. Let's search. Let's search, maybe we can find something. Anything. You search desperately along the river's edge for some key to returning to the earth below. Some way to rediscover the strange room from which you emerged. Being out here in the world has only been a disappointment. Well, why? Because I'm alone? You push away a clump of overgrown plants, and in the undergrowth you spot a gap, an opening, a tunnel perhaps? You begin to tear away greenery in order to make your way towards it. Did I find the hatch? Huh. Definitely something. You lower yourself into a sewer system, apparently out of use. Its walls doze with a black liquid swallowing up every surface. The light bends into darkness, and you find yourself analyzing your own failures, your powerlessness? Okay. Your lack of resistance. But in this examination, you do not find any answers. You never do. Does it truly matter in which direction you are buffeted? Buffeted? You choose left. Left or right? Let's go right. We may find something there. Actually, all roads lead to something in Electric Sleep. Does it truly matter? You choose right in a manner that feels arbitrary. Well, it is arbitrary actually. You are at a loss to comprehend what would help you escape from this malaise. As you trudge on, the tunnel sinks deeper, the sides become more constricted, and you finally drop on your knees. In the circumstances, this action feels wholly appropriate. What, I'm gonna die there? Like... what? Oh, no, we're not dead yet. You crawl forward to wreckage and discarded parts. Streams of water gush from the tunnel roof and crash over you, almost as if in rebuke. You become aware of a figure slumped against a grating, obscured by rubble. And as you approach, the figure begins to talk. Someone alive? You feel grief for them. You feel pain for them. Grief? You feel grief, maybe? But if they're talking, maybe they're other robots? Humans, maybe? Let's see. You feel grief for them. Their words come out, but are interrupted by bursts of static. It is like some exterior sign of a dreadful inner malfunction. You inch closer to hear what this figure has to say, and are greeted by a stream of stories. They speak of failure, struggle, and a desperate hope of finding a way. But before long, this is too familiar. And even as guilt flashes hot in your system, you make your excuses and hurry onwards. The sewer begins to rise, and light breaks through as you head towards the surface. That was very light on the details of those stories though. So was it a robot? I guess it was a robot. You eventually emerged into a tight cluster of buildings around an empty square. The most prominent of these is a tower dotted with enormous windows. Even from down below you can see a vast bank of consoles lining its interior. But all their screens appear to be broken. This place feels like a clasped hand trying to hold onto something solid, while everything else slips away, lost in the storm. You head inside the tower, or you rifle to the many different buildings. No, let's go into the tower. Let's check this apparently important tower. Allegedly important. You head inside the tower, hopeful that it might contain the relief you have been promised. Walking up the stairs, you sense that this building has been undisturbed for some time. When you reach the command room, you are greeted by broken screens, of course, but also by table upon table full of spidery notes, sheets of paper, and elaborate drawings. Not only that, but every wall is plastered with diagrams of minute detail. These illustrate a contraption that appears to have propelled its creators away from here and into the unknown. Escape? Is that really a relief? Do we always have to keep running? Can't we find a solution within ourselves? Are we unable to resolve the anxious interplay of our own thoughts? You are left intensely disappointed. You identify a screen much like that you first encountered when emerging from your glass pod. And after some frustrated exploration, you program a message articulating your urgent thoughts. What, like a diary? You hold the desperate hope that whoever is on the other end may receive them, and may have some further advice to provide. Time passes, and you wait and wait, but still there is no response. Apparently, they have gained their relief, however superficial, and they do not care about yours. This shakes you, and you are aware of a differently shaped feeling beginning to settle throughout your body. It is one that is sharp and directed. Anger, maybe? One that suddenly makes everything turn dark. Anger. Is that anger? Could be anger. Huh. Okay. Fade to black. Exception caught. AI dot overload exception. At AI dot util dot emotion engine dot load module. At AI dot run. Huh. So this is the path that we just took right now. Anomaly detected. Scanning source. System dot out of memory. Redirecting power. Dumping status. So anger, the anger module is active, and before it was sadness. Module anger. It feels like a growing heat. So we're back at the pod. You struggle against the confines of some sort of holding pod. Its constraints pull you from the lucid dreams in which you were absorbed. Now, I'm not really sure if this is the same robot, or maybe it's a different robot. Fully awake now, your perception is shot through with a barely compressed anger. You take in the details of the dark room on the other side of the glass. Finally, your resistance pays off, as at your next shuddering push, the pod door clatters open. You step heavily out into the space. Who trapped you here, and why have you been so rudely awakened? Your anger is a coiled spring. Your anger is a wet blade. Your anger is a blinding light. A blinding light. Let's be a blinding light. See what happens. So now we're not sad, or at least this robot is no longer sad. Is angry, and that's how it begins its exploration of the world. Your anger is a blinding light. A computer terminal blinks suspiciously, and you hurry over to confront it, peering closely at the screen. We had to leave. We wanted to escape from you, but we knew you had something. Again, a text, but with missing letters, and I'm guessing maybe if you play enough, you'll find the whole text. They knew you had something, and they took it from you, and then spat you out once they were finished. You have been forced to confront a world that seems wholly unsuited to your presence. One that does not grasp the full extent of your inner energies. inner energies that still burn strongly, whatever may have been stolen from you. No matter, you will simply have to launch yourself into action and demonstrate the folly of those who have wronged you. So he's angry, but he doesn't really know why. You leap onto a ladder at the far end of the room and propel yourself upward. And again, we're outside. Same hatch, same place. You burst from the narrow opening at the top of the ladder. You push its metal hatch aside in one deft, violent motion. Your momentum carries you into a wide clearing between trees where you stand beneath two curves of broken metal. They too were once manipulated against their will, forced into structure before rupturing in final protest. How fitting. You barrel into the forest, you will track down your tormentors, you'll free the other remnants of construction. Let's choose free. Let's see where this choice would lead us. You will free the other remnants of construction that are scattered around the clearing. There is brick, metal, and wood that have all been twisted by calculating hands. You cannot help but feel a grieving affinity with them, despite their inanimate state. You begin to tear them from the ground in a frenzy of redemptive activity. When you pause for a moment, you realize this fury has carried you to the very edge of a swirling river. Oh, we're at the river. Back at the river, I guess. Okay. The river again. You step unsteadily forward, and the silted river edge collapses beneath your feet. And you drop into its raging waters. Uh-oh, that's not good. How inevitable that even this natural feature is acting against you. You shout your defiance even as you are buffeted downstream. Alright, the current is too powerful, but you will not be cowed. The current is powerful, but so are you. Okay, let's be powerful. Let's, I don't know, face the current maybe? Go with the current? I don't know. The current is powerful, but so are you. And in an act of willful distortion, you push yourself forward in the same direction it flows. Okay, so we're going in the same way. You are eager to reach your ultimate destination head on. Anyone there would not know what has hit them. And maybe I get to the sewers again. Maybe. You trash in the current as you are thrust out into the vastness of a great lake. Oh no, we're in a great lake, okay. Your anger rises to a climax as you fight to regain control. But now forces below the surface pull you under. Then just as quickly they propel you back to the surface, then under again in an infuriating endless cycle. You blink between worlds, you twist forward. Let's twist forward. Escape, hopefully. Maybe. You twist forward, managing to angle yourself as a sleek projectile. The next immense rush of water carries you speeding towards the lake edge, where you are deposited onto the bank. Nice! We got out of the lake. You angrily shake the excess water from your body, and you make out a large metal pole sticking out from the clump trees that now greeted you. Could this be some tool to finally push the odds in your favor? You stride towards it. What? I just take a fence? You stop in front of a giant chain-link fence, metal poles thrust along its length. The trees around it seem to cower from this artificial construction. But you will not be so intimidated. Did they really think you could be contained, whoever built this? They knew you had something, but clearly had no idea of your true capabilities. You are relentless, resourceful, or unparalleled. Let's be relentless. Let's go for relentless. Let's see where that leads us. You are relentless. It is so easy to feel the furies within, the stain of injustice, the impetus that bursts forth from grievance. You channel all these feelings and charge forward. You are a precision tool, and you tear to the chain link triumphantly to the open scrubland beyond. Scrubland? Huh. You eventually emerge at a formidable cluster of buildings around an empty square. Oh, we've been here. The most prominent of these is a tower dotted with enormous windows, right, and screens that are not working. Even from down below you can see a bank of consoles lining its interior, but all of their screens display an angry, blinking static. What vanity from these who created this place, however outwardly impressive. You will show them the error of their ways. Let's see. We go straight to the surface or methodical? Let's be methodical. Let's not go in just yet. Let's take a different approach. Oh, I like the music. You are methodical in your approach, searching to the buildings that surround the tower. You study the mechanical implements that lie dormant within each of them. You have something here, that is clear. Now you only have to harness it. You assess that the source of their activation most likely lies in the tower itself, and you push open its doors. It is only once you have scaled its heights and faced its banks of cracked monitors that a plan begins to form. Here there is a table upon table full of smeared notes and disturbing drawings. Not only that, but every wall is plastered with diagrams of minute detail which illustrate the vast arsenal that you have already discovered, and the process by which they might be targeted. How terrible and how fitting! From the vantage point of the tower control room, you can see all the way to the clearing and underground shelter from which you emerged. There is one way to prevent any others being subjected to the wretched disturbance that you were, and it will also demonstrate your new understanding and new power. Within seconds the order has been carried out, the crosshairs set by a few taps on the console. What did he do? As projectiles spin into the air from the buildings around you, there is just a hint of uncertainty. It flashes at your back, then seeps across your surfaces. With missiles heading unerringly towards your previous shelter, this new sensation claws at you, takes hold, pulls you to the ground. Wait, he carried a missile strike? What is this? Why can you not hold still? Inside you it feels like your circuits are falling over a cliff. And then it all goes black. Huh. So because of... Wait, that's really like... Okay. So the angry... Achievement unlock anger. Okay. Alright, so that was the path that we took now. Anomaly detected. And I guess we're gonna start with the new one. With the new robot. Joy missing. So fear and anger are active. Sadness restored and joy missing. Okay, let's play a little bit, see what happens. Module adrenaline. It feels like a ticking clock. We're back here. Huh. You trash awake. What is this insistent pounding that you feel? And where are you? You have rattled a glass screen to one side and burst into a small room. It is full of sinister looking pods, like with other robots, right? You shake with a nervous energy, unsteady on your feet. You feel overwhelmed, you feel dangerous, you don't understand these feelings. Let's say we don't understand these feelings. There's a lot to explore in this game. May not take a lot of time, but obviously there are a lot of different endings, but you don't understand these feelings. You crash against the computer monitor and snatch a glance at the screen. We had to leave. We wanted to give you to your darkest moments, but we knew you could be the end. Again, text, but not full. You don't want to stick around to find out what your darkest moments might be. How could someone throw you into a place of danger like this? You appear to have already gained enemies. You feel a jolt of something hot and a rush of something unstable. You clamber up a ladder at the end of the room. The pounding does not stop. And we're again outside. Huh. You rush into a clearing, your eyes wide at the sight of the fractured metal that confronts you. They are such terrifying shapes. What are they for? Who hides here? You stay constantly moving, for you will not be pinned down. You take it all in, aghast. Can you survive here? You will outflank any foe. You must arm yourself. You need safety of safety. You need the safety of a building where you can ground this buzzing sensation that courses through you. There, through those trees. Can't you see one? You shake, you wait. So you snake. You snake your way to the ruined metal that surrounds you. You make sure to stay forever alert. Finally, you dash into the packed trees, slipping into the shadow of the building. You are ready to explode into action. Or will that tear you apart? Huh. Okay, this is new. You scurry in the darkness, and you see the building to which these shadows belong. It is a crumbling place, towering over you in brick and metal. From its edifice gush streams of dirty water. You can feel that power thudding in your chest. You strain to stop the nagging motion in your body as you try to assess your best approach. But you know you cannot hold back for long. Could you sneak around the back? Could you make it up onto the roof? Could you prise yourself through a window? Let's try a window. Sounds like the safest thing. I don't know if it's the safest thing, but... Okay, so we're inside. Could you prise yourself through a window? Could this give you the element of surprise? You do not hesitate once you have reached the decision. You are pushed forward by the constant pounding you feel. You clamber over rubble to reach the edge of the building. But the window is farther away than you thought. You climb over a railing and inch closer a shattered outcrop. You reach out for a stronger handhold. Did you make the right decision? You stumble only slightly, but this is enough. A fresh torrent of water catches you, dragging you from the ledge. You collapse onto the roaring current below and are carried away. Oh, you're pulled onwards into a great lake. Oh, okay, so we're in the Great Lake again. Huh. Alright. I've been here before. Here you are rushed powerfully along by the current. You are barely able to take in the size of the lake in which you have found yourself. It stretches out of sight, and the light has begun to fade. You struggle to keep your composure. You're angry at the lack of control you feel, and scared of being swallowed up. Will this feeling ever stop? You notice movement. Oh, movement on the bank. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe humans, maybe a robot. Come on. You notice movement on the bank. Was that something there? But now you doubt yourself. Was that it again? You dive back under the surface and try to hide any sign of vulnerability. Your mind works frantically. You try to figure out what to do once you have identified your target, but your momentum is halted at the sight of a horrible chain of metal fencing stacked out just below the surface. It rears up to meet you, and now you are not sure you will be able to turn back. You realize with a lurch that you were looking in the wrong place all along. What? Wait, is this the same fence that I came up to before? I guess? You drift steadily closer to the chain of fencing. Your movements feel outside of your control. The fence is imposing and cold. You try and come up with a plan before you become enveloped. You feel only a simmering tension. It infects your every thought, and the current has turned against you. You are pulled straight into the linked metal. Its cable tangle and choke you. You will not be taken so easily if you can just quiet your frantic senses. They speak of release, they speak of the void. They speak of release. Let's try that, maybe that means we're gonna survive. They speak of release. You struggle against your constriction and the tumult rises within you. You lash out with a renewed ferocity, the noose around you finally loosening. You rupture the chains and are propelled to the other side. The water line drops, earth rises to meet you, and you are washed onto a muddy shore. You shake yourself into conviction, and then begin to walk. And we're back at the square. You find yourself among urban shadows. You have made it into a settlement. Or is it an industrial base? The most prominent building here is a tower dotted with enormous windows, of course. And even from down below you can see a vast bank of consoles lining its interior. Okay, so it's the same building. The screens blink on and off in time with the pounding of your thoughts. This feels like no coincidence. Okay, let's go in then. Have you been coaxed here to bring about some end? What darkness might that entail? Who waits up there? You bristle angrily at the idea and then flinch at what might still be to come. You need to make a clean break? No, let's go for monitored. Well, let's see how this is gonna end. This run is gonna end. You feel you are being constantly monitored, manipulated, and harassed. You will not stand for this. You begin to formulate a plan. You are very careful, and despite the constant tapping in your head, you manage to steady yourself. You slip into the gloom, away from prying eyes. You gather what resources you can find, hidden in the darkness. Wire and fuses, plastic and switches, a cache of explosive potential. You rig your traps so slowly, you will no longer be observed. You make sure everything is in place. Then you push the right button. But you have underestimated your own effectiveness. The tower crumbles spectacularly. Oh! And as the wreckage falls, you realize that it will be all-consuming. The sky is blotted out above you. A lump of stone crashes to the ground right in front of you. Now you feel a desperate sadness that you were pushed to such destruction. It threatens to break you apart. Well, I guess the rocks or a piece of debris will break you first though. A looming shadow spreads across you as more debris rains down. And then with a rush, you are consumed by the darkness. And that's how this robot robot dies. Huh. I wonder what the next module is gonna be. Let's see the path that we got this time. Alright, so we got this path now. Okay. And then let's see what the next thing. Alright, so the next stage, anger restored, joy is still missing, and we have fear and sadness active. You're right. Module nihilism, okay, that's great. It feels like a part of you is numb. You know what? I think that's a good way to end this video, cause it's getting pretty dark, but hopefully at the very end it's gonna be something that it seems fulfilling. So if you're interested in the game, if you're interested in this, you know, quite different type of visual novel, you know, with intertwining stories, definitely intertwining stories, you pretty much explore the same areas but from different perspectives with different views of the world, different feelings. Even for a robot you have, you know, different modules activated. So if you want to see what happens, you know, if you want to see the other perspectives and, you know, other endings and see how, you know, it all concludes, then you can check out Electric Sleep. It is coming out February 22nd for Windows, Mac OS and Linux. It comes out on Steam. There's a link in the description below if you want to get it. So check it out there. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up real quick. And if you like what I do here, consider subscribing. That would be actually immensely helpful. If you could subscribe, tell other people about the channel, spread the word. Also check out the back catalog, because I have over 2090 videos. Actually, it's pretty much 2100 videos at this point. So all you have to do is check the back catalog and you'll definitely discover loads of cool other cool games, like, you know, Electric Sleep, mostly indie games that you'll find intriguing. So check that out. Also, if you can, take half a minute to see the ways to which you can support me. There are, you know, multiple ways. You can give a donation to PayPal, or if you don't have any money to give directly, you can support me with the purchases that you make on the Epic Games Store, on the Humble Store, or on Fanatical. All you have to do in these cases is use either a referral link or an affiliate link or a creator tag, and every time you do that, you don't pay anything extra for the things that you buy, right? Through those links or with the code, but you do help me out with a small percentage of the money you spend there. So it costs you absolutely nothing. It's a win-win situation for everyone. So check those out. Also, there's another way. You can download the Brave browser. I know not a lot of people change browsers often, but I don't think anyone changes browsers often, but the Brave browser has a really cool idea. It's a Chromium based browser, so it's very close in how it works and how it behaves when it comes to, you know, showing you the web. It's come close to Chrome and to Opera. So if you use those, you know, Brave's gonna feel very familiar, but it's a browser that puts a lot of emphasis on privacy, on not being tracked by, you know, huge corporations and whoever else has access to the databases of those corporations. So if you care about your privacy and if you want to try something new that, you know, takes a different approach when it comes to, you know, the information that is available, you know, from you and being collected, the idea being, you know, none should be collected or very little, then check out the Brave browser. And if you end up using it, I'll get a small reward. You don't pay anything from like directly or anything like that. You just check out a browser, and if you end up liking it, you know, that's great. It's another win-win-win situation. I'm using it, and I'm not just saying that. It's pretty much replaced Chrome for me. I use Brave and Opera as my main browsers, and things are pretty well, actually. They're pretty good. They're pretty good, and you know, if you want to try it again, see the link in the description below. Thanks so much everyone for watching, and until the next time we see each other, have an awesome day.